You know what? I found this today. I've just got a chuckle. This isn't too far from me. This is in Chester Zoo. Probably, what, 8, 9, 10 miles away from me. And Chester Zoo celebrates birth of world's rarest chimpanzee. And I think that might be the chimpanzee. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it is. The new chimpanzee has bonded well with its mother and the rest of the troop. The zoo says. I've been to Chester Zoo a few times myself. No doubt some of you listeners out there would have also been there, and no doubt many will be flocking to see this little one soon. A critically endangered western chimpanzee, which conservationists say is the world's rarest chimpanzee, has been born at a zoo. Chester Zoo has said the birth was a small but vital boost to the global population of the species, which is under huge threat in the wild. The baby boy is in good health and has bonded well with its mother and the rest of the troop. Added, in line with the zoo's tradition, it will be named after a rock or pop star. Andrew Lehinihan from Chester Zoo said, "We previously welcomed Dylan, Alice, Annie, so watch this space. Mum Zizi and her new arrival instantly bonded, and she's doing a great job of cradling him closely and caring for him." So I'm not going to read any more. It says it all. But what I'd like to draw your attention to is this. The baby boy is in good health and has bonded well with its mother and the rest of the troop, it added. I mean, I think this is a bit, I don't know, is this genderism? Is this, how dare they call this little chimp a boy? How do they know what this little chimp wants to be or what it wants to be identified as? This is scandalous. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's amazing, isn't it? A child comes out of a human womb and we seem to have problems determining or declaring the sex of that child. I've spoken to people and they've told me, even though this was recently, even though their child came out with a penis and testicles, they could clearly see them. The hospital would not basically say that this baby boy was a baby boy. They had to send away for a blood test, obviously to determine whether it had a Y chromosome. But that's where we're at, folks. Baby humans are being born with penises and vaginas. And now we're having problems. This is the medical profession having problems. Looking and saying, that's a boy, that's a girl, that's a male, that's a female. But when it comes to the animals, no problem. We know what it is. It's a boy. It's a girl. Here, the baby boy is in good health and has bonded well with its mother and the rest of the troop, it added. Yes, that's the upside down world we're living in, folks. And until we start speaking up and shouting loud and clear, then they're just going to keep on imposing this insanity upon us and carrying on with the great reset of their global experiment. And here we have Genesis 6. Verses 19 and 20. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of the birds according to their kinds, and of the animals according to their kinds, of every creeping thing of the ground according to its kind. 2 of every sort shall come into you to keep them alive. Now this is the historical narrative written down by Moses of an event that happened 4,000 years ago. And this is the event of you'll hear Noah. Well, Noah in the ark, he built an ark about 450 feet in length, width probably about the size 2/3 of a soccer pitch, and height about 3 stories high. So it was a fairly big seagoing vessel. And this ark was built in order to keep on the ark alive the seed of humanity, the seed of animals and livestock to repopulate the earth once the waters had receded from the earth. They would all go out. Decided to send a global flood because of the wickedness of humanity. And we only need to look at our world, our history and our present time to see the wickedness of humanity. So this record describes here clearly that God recognises male and female, not only in the human realm who were created in his image, but also in the animal realm. So we recognise ourselves that animals are male and female in order to make a baby lion and a female lion. And how we determine what is male and female is when they're born, and we see whether it has a penis or a vagina. Okay? We can also tell the other traits. There's other things which will tell us. We can also tell by the DNA. In humanity, there's the chromosome. This is our modern age. We have XY chromosome, which means male. XX chromosome, female. Has a Y chromosome. All males have XY chromosome. So you can do a blood test and you can see XY chromosome. And that is how we determine what is female and what is male. And in our modern age, we've got no excuse, okay? No excuse whatsoever. Even before DNA was discovered, or we started to understand DNA, there was no excuse. We could clearly see who was male and female. Yes, you may have some instances due to mutation, etc., which problems, but we won't go into that now. So there we have it. We know in the animal kingdom what a male and a female is. But suddenly, when that transfers over to humanity, we can't determine what a male and a female is. Well, those of us who fully understand how we determine what a male and female is have no problem. But suddenly we are being impressed upon us. Well, nobody knows whether you're male or female. You decide when you're, 6 or 7. Yeah, then we'll start giving you drugs which will enable you to fulfill your full potential. But we won't tell you that those drugs will reduce your lifespan and cause all kinds of problems in your body, because God created male and female. And all this is that's another, I suppose you could say, conspiracy theory. The grand experiment of humanity, just like they did in the concentration camps. They wanted to experiment on the Jews, the gypsies, etc., etc., and the evil of Mengele and his mob in the concentration camps. So there you have it, folks. God knows what male and female is. We know what male and female is. It's quite obvious. But suddenly, we can recognise male and female in the animal kingdom, but we can't recognise male and female in humanity.